Welcome back. And with me, Brady Cobb, the CEO of Sol Global. So
Yes.
great to have you here. Tell me, what is Sol Global?
Sol Global is an investment company with a focus in the cannabis industry. We invest in management teams, we invest in solid operators, and we focus on being first to market. So our track record is being first to market in Latin America, being one of the first license transfers in the US and Florida, and also then identifying management teams, and we have a strong focus in Europe.
Okay.
So we've recently press released several investments in Europe. We have the Florida asset that we invested in and did a transaction with Verano Holdings, and then now we're focusing almost exclusively on the hemp and CBD space.
Okay, which is a super active and interesting space right now.
Very
so,
active.
Gosh, where do we start? Let's
Yeah.
start with the game changer, which was the Farm Bill in 2018. So what did that do to the industry?
It took it from first gear to fourth gear very quickly. We're still working with the FDA, and a very proud moment for me when that passed, because I worked on it. I'm a lawyer lobbyist by background. I worked on that bill for the better part of 2 years with Senator McConnell and his staff and leadership in the Senate and the House. And that bill, some people don't view it as going far enough. DC and the legalization around hemp and cannabis is a step-by-step process. It's incremental, sustained momentum. That was a big moment.
Right.
Now we're talking about one of the largest economies, if not the largest economy in the world, with access to hemp and CBD products. So the only thing that's still hanging out there is what the FDA is going to do, and we routinely are in contact with them. They are going to push out regs, but as you know, the federal government, everything takes time. But our investments in the space that we're making are all facilities that are GMP certified,
Okay,
if not
explain
GFSI.
GMP.
GMP is Global Manufacturing Processes.
Okay.
It's a safety certification
Okay.
that for processing, and it's what allows products to enter the mainstream supply chain.
Okay.
So ultimately, when we're looking to make investments, we're looking for companies that have already recognized that to access big box retail and distribution channels, you need to have these global certifications.
So where does the FDA stand? What are they looking at? When will we might see these products just mainstream, even though they're starting to become so, but available legally, no issues at all?
Well, right now, the good news is under the Farm Bill, it's removed from Schedule 1.
Okay.
So as long as you have less than 0.3% THC. Ultimately, the FDA is going to have to put out regs on how products that you're going to ingest into your body, and whether they're going to treat them as supplements or they're going to go a more traditional route is unknown. I suspect, given the size of the market and how far along a lot of players are. I mean, I believe Walgreens is getting ready, if they haven't already, launched products on their shelves. So the certifications on how you actually cultivate, process, and manufacture the products are going to have to be brought up to where food and pharma is.
And some kind of quality control of
Correct.
the issue. So people know,
QA/QC.
right, if they're buying something, it's the dose or whatever that it's advertised, and everything is, gone through the proper procedures, nothing dangerous, and
Correct.
that needs to be done.
That's where the industry, I think that's where you're going to separate the companies that can scale up to meet the U.S. demand versus those that are going to struggle, is who actually has the certifications in place on the processing and the quality control standards to make sure that they can meet the standards we ultimately know are going to come out. But more importantly, big box retailers don't want to put products on their shelves that don't have some reliability, that don't have some quality control.
That's right.
So to access those channels, you have to have the
Yeah, 'cause
certification.
they have to do the recalls and all that's very costly. I don't hear a lot of talk about farmers and how the Farm Bill might have impacted farmers. They have all of a sudden a new crop, a new market.
Correct. And it's a big moment for them, because if you look at what they could get farming tobacco, for example, which is Kentucky, Senator McConnell's home jurisdiction, Tennessee, South Carolina, the tobacco belt, they can now plant hemp. Hemp's a very resilient plant, and it ultimately is going to yield them, at least, the prices will come down as the market becomes more saturated, but it can yield them much more than they can get off tobacco right now. So farmers are excited.
Sure.
We're in Kentucky and Tennessee quite a bit, working with our farming partners there, and everyone is very much, they're enthusiastic to say the least, to be able to farm this product. It's a resilient plant, and they can plant it in the same fields where tobacco was.
What all can hemp be used for?
It's amazing the uses, and now that we're seeing some of the federal government oversight lifted, the full, research can go into it, but topicals, pain relief. CBD is an amazing anti-inflammatory agent. Sleep. You can use it for whether you take it orally for tinctures. There's beauty creams, there's foot creams, there's skin creams, there's paper for the byproduct once you're done harvesting the flower. The uses are only going to continue to expand as we can do more and more with the plant. When there was a federal government prohibition hanging over everybody, not too many people wanted to step out in front. There was only one research at the University of Mississippi. We're now at 13, which we also have an investment in a cannabinoid therapy at the University of Miami, where we're testing a cannabinoid therapy that treats CTE and head trauma. So football, soldiers coming off the batting
concussions,
field.
yeah.
It uses the anti-inflammatory components of CBD to try to reduce the inflammation in the brain after a traumatic injury. So we've gone through our first animal trial, and we're working on the human trials right now.
So this could be $1 trillion market. How big could this be?
Sky's the limit as far as I can tell. I mean, it's a huge marketplace. People are looking for non-opiate based ways to treat pain and inflammation. This is a great substitute. It's non-addictive. And it's just going to come down to who can scale up. I mean, we saw what happened in Canada. Everyone thought they had enough greenhouse and production facility to meet a recreational market in Canada. And I believe in week 1, everyone was out of product.
That's right.
It was Representative Waters at the hearing last week. I laughed. She said, "You're not putting the genie back in the bottle." That's this phrase that we've said as we're going to meet with members in Congress. Like, it was great to hear a congresswoman say that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Brady, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Very interesting to follow this industry. And so thank you as well for joining us. We'll be right back.
Thanks.